guardián de la cueva, custodio mundos secretos y leyendas. Sígueme y descubre qué hay detrás. Bienvenidos a mi cueva. Bienvenidos a la Mathiw Cueva.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with the chance to give their very life for the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Kunrad Voigtvir, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship rogue trader Theodora von Valancius. My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valancius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of Her Ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty. There is, and you will meet him soon enough. I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valancius. so that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the... But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Idira von Valancius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Victory awaits!
One of the von Valancius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk! Feel my wrath! My tactics are flawless. Not a problem for me. I'll pass. Suits my purposes. Already done. I don't have time for this.
I'm wounded.
All too easy. Suits my purposes. Not my specialty. Never wavered in the face of adversity. Not a problem for me. I'll pass.
Death to the heretics!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally.
None shall stand in my way.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad? Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say. But attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence. Even among his flock, not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are...
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here? Clarity. A luxury that few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voigtvir served me for many years before he made his mistake. Naturally, some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. You were once a Lord Captain yourself, aboard your own ship. You know everything there is to know about the life of this gargantuan beast and its thousands of crew members. You know how fickle machine spirits can be, how weak-willed are the rabble from the lower decks, how a single tactical decision can turn the tide of a battle. Few people can claim to have such priceless experience that is so highly sought after in my calling. Moreover, even changing your family name will not rid you of the fame you previously garnered. I hope it will also help you bring glory to the von Valancius dynasty, to which you now belong. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtvir. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp in my presence. The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage. Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start ripping...
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogit... You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks.
See you terminated!
Come to chaos!
Emperor, protect me! No mercy for heretics!
Follow my lead. For the glory of the Imperium! Out of my way! Death to non-believers!
Pain and duty go hand in hand. I shall not fear! Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes. I don't have time for this.
I serve the ruinous powers!
I serve the ruinous powers!
Follow my lead. I took care of this one. Reduced to dust.
My faith strengthens me. Die! Chaos guides me.
All too easy.
That's gotta hurt.
A tactically sound approach.
Stay vigilant. To the heretics!
Don't touch me. For the Imperium!
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let us... Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Follow my lead. We shall prevail. I won't tolerate weakness.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Kunrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, pull yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along?
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Edelthrad,
Where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlass and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
We are in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Geller field and the infiltration of...
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Edelthrad back to me. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. Of course you will.
Yeah.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power, the sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel. On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, von Valancius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for? Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is... Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way!
None shall stand in my way.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating set.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this
Communication protocols breached. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of arms.
It's about time.
Run, fools, or fall! Master! Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve... What? Serving the gods of the war. Kunrad is a heretic. Oh, Voigtvir, you void rat. Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. You are injured. I must dress your wounds before we go any further. You are injured. I must dress your wounds before we go any further. This wound will make a fine scar. You are injured. That is a noticeable improvement. Now the lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels, but that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the war and into real... You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing? Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course. Absolutely. Let us...
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission.
You surrender to the dark powers won't save you.
Feel my wrath!
Tried and tested tactics are the best. Indeed, one fewer target. I will do my duty. I took care of this one. At your beck and call.
Suits my purpose. You stand a chance? Already done. Nothing I can't do.
I serve the ruinous powers. Chaos guides me.
It will be done.
One fewer target.
Look no further. What advice do you seek?
A new challenge for me?
I hear it. Here, on the threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh...
This is Idira Tlass, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master cog, and the sight...
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it! You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
And you are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet. Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Or fall!
Your Emperor won't save you!
To dust.
Here we go. Death to non-believers.
You'll regret this.
My great words, masters.
What is this foreboding? Not this Scryer's job. On it. Farewell.
I shall not fear. Suits my purposes.
I'm not interested. I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I took care of this one. Victory is imminent.
I believe Master Vespider still lives.
Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp.
Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body!
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must...
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the office.
The spider.
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Victory awaits.